So you look around your home and all you see is just clutter. And you're wondering, how in the world did my space get this cluttered? And I'm sorry to break it to you, but the problem is you. But we're going to talk about it in this video, so stick around. Hey winning fam, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Jumoke Win. I'm a first-gen homemaker, mommy to two winners, and on this channel, we help you to create a luxury space one intentional decision at a time. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure that you do like, subscribe, and you hit that bell so you can get more notifications. Okay, so there is this one tiny habit. It's so sneaky because you don't even realize that it's happening because it's kind of a reflex that you're doing that is actually making your home more cluttered. And when I say it's going to be like, well, duh, but we're going to dive deeper into what this really means. And that is bringing in items into your home that will become clutter tomorrow. Now, obviously, we know that we brought these items into our home, but we're not connecting the dots that we have to change something in our habits in order for us to not have this cluttered space. Sometimes we think that it's just the lack of organization that's the problem, which part of it is, but that's not the full issue. It's really it is really a mindset shift that you need and an identity shift that you need in order to have a less cluttered home. So we're going to talk about that in this video. So the first reason why people bring in items that will become cluttered tomorrow is simply because someone gave it to you. Picture this, you have your dear Aunt Susie, Aunt Sally Mae. Well, no, Sally Mae is the um, is the people that take the tuition or people that take the student loan. Excuse me. But okay, let's say that you have your Aunt Sally and she wants to gift you with a china set. And she's like, "Here you go, babe. I got this for you, and maybe you're gonna like it, to pass it down." And you feeling guilty accept it from Aunt Sally Sue, and you put it in your home, and now it's taking up space, even though you didn't like it, but you don't want to disappoint your Aunt Sally Sue. So what do we do about that? And I want to break this part up into different sections. So we're going to talk about things that are dispensable and then things that have more sentimental value, because people can give you things and not everything is sentimental. So I thought it was important to break up that distinction. So first, let's talk about the things that are dispensable. For example, my mom, when she comes over to our house, she always cooks for us, and she brings food for us. She brings Nigerian food, and she brings it in plastic Tupperware. Now, personally, for me, I hate plastic Tupperware simply because I grew up with it, and I just really hated plastic Tupperware because you use it a few times, especially if you're eating some type of greasy, stained food. It stains the Tupperware. You put it in the microwave a few times, the plastic starts to degrade, and then you have all this Tupperware in your cabinet taking up space, and then the lids don't match. It just gives me so much stress and anxiety. So I personally do not like plastic Tupperware. However, I'm not going to reject food from my mama, right? She's gonna bring food to us, but it is important, and this is a habit that I've been trying to get into, is once we use the food or use whatever was disposable, we use it and then we throw it away. It's really important. It's either you're gonna throw it away or you're going to donate it if you can, if it's in good condition. But since, like I said, it's plastic Tupperware, it doesn't really last. It's not like glass that's better quality that lasts a long time. Once you microwave it a few times and the plastic starts to degrade, nobody wants that, right? Like that, this another reason too why I don't really care for plastic Tupperware, simply because I can't just donate it. I can't sell it. Like it's trash, it's junk. So something like that, even if someone gives it to you, you have to have a system that as soon as you use it, it needs to go either in the trash, the donation pile, or in the recycling bin. But it has to go out of your house as quickly as it came into it. Because if not, and you're just accepting things that, again, are disposable or dispensable, it just stays in your home. And I know how it is for some people who have like plastic Tupperware that's been given to them from different people. It starts to pile up in your cabinets. You open your cabinets, they're all falling out, and different lids. You don't have any organizational system for them because you didn't buy it yourself. It's not something you would buy for yourself. So it's important that you do have a system to remove that out of your house. Okay, so now let's talk about things that are a little bit more sentimental. What I recommend is if you're someone who is not really big on receiving things from people, especially if you know that it's not your taste or they don't really have your taste, I think it's important that you can just set boundaries beforehand, especially if it's like a major holiday or if it's a birthday for Christmas and birthdays. You can just let your family know, especially if it's your family that's constantly giving you items that are becoming clutter in your home. I would just make a boundary ahead of time so that you don't have that awkward tension when someone wants to give it to you on the day of and you feel that you have to accept it. What I would say is tell the people that you love, like, hey, family, this event is coming up, this holiday is coming up, my birthday's coming up. I would like for you all to maybe just give me cash or gift cards or whatnot. And that's it, right? You just want to set a boundary very politely and acknowledge that if they do want to give you, this is how that they can bless you in this way. Something that I've learned in my 20s is don't let people guess about your happiness, right? If people around you want to make you happy, don't make it difficult for them. Don't play about your happiness, right? If you like something or if you want something and you have people in your life who are willing to collaborate and add to your happiness, then just tell them, right? Just tell them that you don't prefer these items to be given to you as gifts so that they know ahead of time, like, okay, so and so, she don't really like these things, but she does appreciate these things, so I'm going to do this for her instead. Okay, so don't have people guessing about your happiness. However, let's say that it's already in your home. Okay, and again, you're just accepting things from, Aunt Sally Sue. She's really thinking about you. I think it's important to let go of guilt when it comes to our personal belongings, because the person who gave it to you probably wants you to be happy. And if accepting this item is not going to make you happy, I don't think that they would want you to just hold on to it out of guilt. I think they would want you to enjoy it, because it's kind of strange. Like, I don't know, like, really think about it. Why would someone want to give you something for them? Right? They just want to give you something to make them happy, but they don't care about making you happy. It's strange, right? It's a little bit strange. So, don't feel guilt, because I'm pretty sure the person wants you to be happy. With that being said, I would either donate those things, especially if you don't like them. It's one thing if you do like them. If you do like whatever someone has given to you, then no wahala. Just make sure that you organized it properly and it's put away. Make sure that you have a home for whatever someone is giving you and that you love it and enjoy it too. But if it's something that you are recognizing as clutter, I urge you to bless someone else with it. And you're like, oh boy, it's so sentimental. Like, I don't, like, I want to give it away, but I don't want to give it away. This is what I would do. I am someone who I believe in, how do I say this? Organizing certain types of clutter. And I know that sounds so strange, but when it comes to sentimental things or things I think I may need, when I have those old habits that are creeping back in, I have a system of how I can work around these mindset shifts. So, what I would do is I would just take pictures. Okay. Whatever the item is, I would take pictures. And guess what I would do? I will organize it on my Google Drive, make a folder. Or if you're really that OD with it, you can just take the photos and print it out and put it in a scrapbook or put it in a photo book or put it in a little box. And that's what you have. And now I know that sounds strange, but I think that having smaller clutter is better than having a huge piece of visual weight in your home that you don't enjoy. So, for example, let's say someone got you a table, right? Like maybe a coffee table that belonged to your great, I don't know, somebody. And you feel so bad because, oh my gosh, like someone gave this to me, but you don't like it. Doesn't fit your decor. You don't want to refinish it because you don't want to take away the sentimental value. That's another thing that you can do. You can always upcycle things that people give you if you can and if you want to. However, I would just recommend give it away. Let it go. Let it go. Because guess what? Someone else is going to love that thing more than you do. So go and bless someone else. This is one of the things that has helped me to reduce hoarding and to really start to get my space and my mind in order is I have to think of my items as things that could potentially bless someone else. And then you give it away, especially if it's in good condition, give it away or sell it. Rather, if you really want to get your return on investment, sell it. Somebody might buy it and enjoy it more than you. So that's what I recommend. Okay, so the next thing that we have to talk about is that you are buying things on impulse and then you have buyer's remorse. A lot of people have this problem, especially, us little shopaholics. We have this problem. We see something in the store, we're like, ooh, shiny object syndrome. We get it, we buy it, we don't even take a second to think. We get home, we look at it, it doesn't fit our space, it doesn't fit our style, it becomes clutter, and then we feel regretful that we wasted our money on this thing. So, how do we stop doing this? How do we kick this habit to the curb? One, I would say, is to budget. Okay. So, I don't think that it's bad to buy things impulsively. I know that might sound kind of strange because I think everyone is different. I think that you know who you are and the things that you like. And if it's something that would bring you joy, I don't think that everyone has to be micromanaged in such a way like you can't buy anything. No, I think, if that's going to bring you joy, then that's fine. But just make sure that it was within your budget. I've heard this saying that said, I think it was the budgetista. She said, the budget is your mama. It's like, Mom, can I do this? Can I go outside? After you clean your room. Okay. You have to think about your budget the same way. Mama, can I buy this thing on impulse? Did you, after you pay your bills? After you pay your bills, you pay yourself first. Then we can buy whatever we want. And again, you won't have any buyer's remorse because you had a budget to just have fun. You have to have a little bit of fun money, a little bit of margin. So that's one thing. Make sure that's within the margin, and every single month you know how much money that you have to spend. So if you want to splurge on something, just know you have this amount of money. So if you splurge on that and you ain't got no money until the next month, sucks to suck. So that's something that you can think about is first you want to budget. And then the next tip I can give you, and this is a tip that I use consistently, is to just sleep on it. This is so underrated because for a lot of us, we are not immune to marketing and marketing tactics, especially fear of loss and urgency. Like a lot of us are just like, oh, I have to buy it now because if not, the opportunity is going to go away forever. Listen, my dear, there is nothing new under the sun. Literally, whatever opportunity you think that is going to go away in 2 seconds probably won't. And if you feel that you have to make a decision so quickly and you can't sleep on it, you can't think about it, it might be a scam, right? It might be a scam. So, really, like, there is no urgency, especially when it comes to items like physical items. Everyone has the same manufacturer. Like you can, even if you see something in the stores or something that has a countdown timer, whoa, okay, there's like what 100 other manufacturers selling the same thing, all from China. So it's not the end of the world if you don't buy something immediately. For me, I know that when I want to buy something and I feel like, oh, I really want to buy it, but I sleep on it. And I know if I keep thinking about it, a few days over, and I'm like, man, I really want this thing, then I know that I'm just going to buy it because I've slept on it, I've thought about it. It keeps coming to my mind. It's something I really want, something that's going to add to my happiness. I've compared prices. I've done my due diligence. At the end of the day, I'm just going to buy it and make me happy. Okay? That's why you have a budget. That is why you have some fun money. You have some margin. So you can go ahead and buy it if that helps. But when you do buy it, it's not going to be clutter simply because it's something that you brought into your home that you love. Because it's really important that the things that you bring into your home, you're not just bringing them in and treating your home like a storage facility. You are bringing in things that you love, that adds your happiness, and that also just it's functional for your family. So the next habit that causes you to bring in items that will become cluttered tomorrow is buying things that you need but you don't necessarily like. This is kind of similar to the whole Tupperware analogy that I gave earlier. People will buy certain Tupperware because they need it in the moment, or they'll buy certain things that are utility, but it's not something that they really enjoy. Now, I understand that not everything that's utility can also be aesthetic and be pretty and make you happy. Some things have to be purely functional. However, I do think that if you already know your brand, your home brand ahead of time, it can help you to make better decisions and to look for things that are more aligned with your home brand. And if you don't know what a home brand is, I have a whole playlist of how to brand your home, and I'll probably link it up here and maybe in the description so you can go and check that out. But you have to have some type of home brand. You need to know your home fonts, your home colors, your home themes, the vision, the mission, the value of your home so that when you bring things into your home, you know, like, does this align? I'll give you an example of something I saw recently. I'm in an organizing season right now of our home because I had to do things in phases, especially as we moved in, as I mentioned in my other video. So I did the whole decor part. Now I'm in the organizing part, okay, of taking my budget and now focusing on organization. I saw this one pin on Pinterest and it was a junk drawer or like a utility drawer. And when I tell you that that is the prettiest utility drawer that I've ever seen, I'm talking about the pens were very specific color, like everything was color coordinated, but it was the things that she needed. And I said, wow, that's such a great way to think about our utility drawer because a lot of us just throw stuff in there and it's stuff that we need. But what if we took just a little bit of time to just think about what we're bringing and what we're buying? For example, she had black and gold pens. And I said, huh, well, with my home brand, gold is one of our colors, one of our home colors. What if I just bought some gold pens and put it into the junk drawer, right? Because we're always looking for pens. Why not just have nice pens and just be a little bit more thoughtful of, okay, I can just get regular pens from the Dollar Tree, right? And just throw it in there. I mean, that's fine. If it's black, it might still coordinate with the rest of our home. But what if I just took just a little bit more intention and bought some gold pens off of like Shein or Walmart or Temu somewhere, right? And just thought a little bit about it and put it in a way that was nice and aesthetically pleasing. This is what I'm trying to say. So when you have to buy things that you need, try to make sure that they're also things that you like. I mentioned the whole thing about the Tupperware. Everyone needs food storage containers, right? Like, unless if you only eat junk food, right? But usually people cook and then they have leftovers or they want a meal plan or whatnot. Why don't you just start building your collection with glass Tupperware, just higher, higher quality food containers, not glass Tupperware because Tupperware, I don't think it's glass, but but try to get glass food container instead and invest your money into that and then throw away the plastic Tupperware. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, you need food storage containers, but why not just get something that you like or start to build towards that? If you maybe you don't have the budget at the moment, it's like, okay, well, maybe next month I can get it and that will be on the top of my priority list. Okay, next thing is buying without inventory of what you currently have. So this is big, especially if you're not organized. That's the biggest way that you can cut down on this habit. It's really, it's really common that people will buy something and they're buying stuff and they're adding to their space and they don't realize that they're buying duplicates or you had something else that you could have used instead. And again, it's just money out the door. It becomes clutter. You don't want to do that to yourself, right? So I would say this is important to get organized. You need to start grouping things in your home and making a functional space so that at a glance you can see what where everything is. You can see what you have and you're not sitting here like, "Oh, I don't really know if we have enough canned corn. I don't know. I'm just going to buy 3 more." But you didn't even realize that you had like 5 cans of canned corn somewhere tucked in the back of your pantry somewhere, but because you couldn't see it, you couldn't get to it, you're buying more, others are expiring. Even when it comes to your clothes, you might not even realize that you have certain outfits in there that you could wear. You keep buying in new clothes because you're not taking an audit of what you currently have, and you're just buying new clothes without getting rid of the old. Okay, now the last mindset that makes this habit just bring more clutter into your home is the I might need this later trap. And I know most of us, type of we have this type of mindset, and for some of us maybe we grew up in lower income families or socioeconomic statuses and now we're in a different place in life. There was a time in your life that you didn't feel you didn't feel like you had what you needed. But now that you are older, I mean, I think a lot of you guys might be a little bit older, you're in a more secured place in life. You don't have to constantly feel like, oh my gosh, I might need this. For a lot of us, right? A lot of us who are now adults, we have jobs, we have careers, we have more stable income. We don't want to be hoarding things that I might need this one day will ever come. A trick that you can use though, if you're someone who's still like, yeah, but I remember that I threw away something one time and then I needed it, then I need to go buy, then I need to go out and get another one. What I recommend is simply just having one spare backup. Hello, one spare backup. You don't need 10 million. You just need one spare backup or whatever. I mean, I guess it's dependent on the item that you're getting, but you need to kind of limit how much you have. I'll give an example. Something like plastic bags, right? When you go to the grocery, you have plastic bags that they give you. And a lot of us who, we grew up a little bit more frugal, we take all the bags and we stuff it underneath our sink. Well, why don't you get one of those organizers that allows you to have the bags, that allows you to put the bags in. But once you fill up that organizer, I'm sorry, you got to throw away the other bags. Like you can't keep piling and piling on because that day just never comes. You're just not using them. It's better to have some type of container, some type of organizational system. You have enough backup. Everything else is now clutter. You need to throw it away. So that's just an example, but you don't need to have 10 million scissors. How many scissors do you really need, right? Even in the kitchen, you might just need one kitchen scissors, but let's just say two, right? You want one to just cut for utility and then you want one for food. Okay, you have two. You don't need five, right? You don't need to keep buying scissors or accepting more scissors into your house. You keep two in the junk drawer, in the utility drawer, in the kitchen. You might keep one in the office, and that's it. Because there's no other place in your house that you're really grabbing for scissors, so you don't need that many. So those are just some tips that I would recommend to cut down on this habit of bringing in clutter into your home, that while bringing in items into your home that will become cluttered tomorrow. Let me know what you think about this video. Make sure that you do subscribe because we are trying to get monetized on this channel. So make sure that you do subscribe if you enjoy videos like this. Share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.